Well, hello there, ladies and gents. Anyone in the chat, say g'day. Hello, hello, hello. How are we, good people? There's a few of you early birds in there, so someone can say g'day. Hope you're doing well, nonetheless. Otherwise, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, guys. Welcome to another big week on the charts. Obviously, it's going to be a huge week this week. There is a lot of high impact news to come out of the US, starting really with tomorrow with PPI. Also got obviously some high impact news for the pound. Unfortunately, I'll be starting stream a little bit after that, but that's okay because hopefully it would have started to filter through into the markets the way it's going to move based off whatever the results are from the news event. But obviously for the US, there is a hell of a lot of news this week. We've got PPI on Tuesday. Moving forward onto Wednesday, we do have obviously a big one with CPI, core retail sales. So it's going to be a big one for the US dollar. We've also got the Fed chair speaking later in the week, unemployment claims as well. So anyone trading during the US session needs to be cautious. Obviously, it's going to be a lot of volatility about with all the red fall news to come. So just in case you guys weren't aware. As far as today though, not much that will impact us. Well, there's nothing really on the agenda. So it should be pretty fine, smooth sailing into our session today. Not a great deal of volume though, but it looks of it from when I've just turned on to look to see what has gone on during the Asian session. So we'll see what we can come up with nonetheless. In the meantime, guys, if you could, please don't forget to hit that like button. Let's let others know that we are live. It's always Monday's always a day where there's not as many on the stream for whatever reason, and they all tend to come in late, so too bad for them, because we are going to get stuck into it right now. Let's look at GJ. Did anyone actually have a look at the analysis I sent into the free Discord group yesterday for the week ahead? I hope you have. All right, so looking at GJ, previous weekly candle, strong bullish candle. Now, based off that, if we begin to break above that previous weekly candle high, there's a high probability we will continue to the upside. Having said that though, we have not really made much of a pullback within the current weekly / daily candle. So what I'm also going to do is mark in a low of that candle, and let's just see if there could be potential counter trend sells below that point. I'm also going to mark in a 50% of that previous weekly candle. I just want to see if it lines up with any level of support resistance to the left hand side. Why I'm marking that level in is because if we do pull back to that level within a current weekly candle and buy step in, we form a support above it, that could potentially be the lowest point of the current weekly candle before we head back up towards the high of the current weekly. And if we have not yet broken the previous weekly candle and continue to the upside. Now, if we begin to pop below that level, form a resistance below it, I think there's a high probability that the weekly candle will end up being a pretty strong bearish one. So I'm just want to see what we've got at that level. Could be a potential level of price to pull back to form a support before we head back up. So we've got the weekly as strong bullish. Daily, structure wise, we do remain bullish, and we are consecutively closing with higher lows, higher highs. We've got how many candles here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the last 6 bullish candles have closed with higher lows, higher highs to the previous 5. Sorry, today's the 6th candle. Let's see if it would also do the same, or will we buck the trend? So higher highs, higher lows. Once again, if we begin to break above that previous weekly candle's high, there's high probability we'll continue to the upside. Looks like we may be running into a level low here to the left based off this wick on the daily. We'll see what we've got in the foil. Once again, I want to also see what we've got below the current daily candle's low. Now onto the 4 hour, guys, and we can see we're just consolidating. Big drop to the downside to open the day's proceedings. All right, so we're pretty much at a resistance on a 4 hour, not far below it anyway. I'll be marking that level in just there. And technically, structure wise, we are still bearish on the 4 hour, but we are trading higher lows, higher highs, staircasing up to this resistance. So if we've got the volume momentum, gonna break above it, there's a high probability that we will head to the upside, potentially all the way back up towards that 197.20 to 40 sort of level. So based off structure itself, we are bearish, but at close to a resistance, trending to the upside. So I'm just gonna mark in the most recent support other than area consolidation just now. I'm gonna mark in levels on the M30. I'm also gonna mark in the current resistance and just see if we can squeeze an entry above the previous daily / weekly candles high. Now we've almost pulled back to a level I would have wanted the new daily / weekly pull back to before we were to continue to the upside. To be honest, we've got this level which lines up with the 50% a little bit lower down, which I'd also could be a potential level that I'd look to buy from if price did pull back. Also got this support just below the most recent flyer support around that 194.30. That again is a potential level that price could pull back to form a support before it heads back to the upside. So right now, let's go down to the 30 minutes. So the bias, so the 30-minute structure does remain bullish. So the bias is to the upside. Based off the strength of that previous weekly candle, I would also prefer to buy it just based off that, irrespective of the overall bias. And just want to see if I can neaten this up a little bit, see if we've got any sort of margin above the current high. I'm going to mark in some horizontals just to know where price could reject. All right. So within the current daily, we've pretty much almost tapped into a level that I want it to tap into at the open. Trade that lower wick as the first potential level. Now, like I mentioned before, if we were to continue bullish, we have no need to pull back and break the low of the current daily candle, let alone the support at that level. So I'm just going to mark that in. Now, if we do begin to break below it, I'll see if I can adjust this level a bit. What we can see, if I were to just move that down, we do have some pretty clean traffic below the current daily candle's low down to 194.50, which is also a psychological round number, which is also, in my opinion, a potential level that price could pull back to before we form a support and maybe trend back to the upside in line with that previous weekly candle. So right now for me on GJ today, so the bias is bullish. It's a matter of we're still below that previous weekly candle's low. As long as we remain below it, and if we begin to reject, so even if we pop above it only to fail and close back below it, and I start to see my calcium price action, I would consider selling it high at this stage. It would be, again, quite risky because it is against the bias and is very early obviously into the week. We've had not much data print just yet, but if we respect that level, I see potential for for sales to take it back down towards the current daily candle's low, or at least down to the support we have formed on the way up. So that down towards that 195.10 sort of level, 195 flat. So I'd just be trading the 30-minute range within your overall picture, if that makes sense. Otherwise, what I'd be looking for also is further buys at this stage, matter of where. So if we pull back to 195.10, 195.05, form a support above that level. Once again, creating an equal low at that point there. I see my calcium price action, I may execute upon a buy to take it back up towards the current daily candle size. So buys above that point there. Would I consider selling it below? Potentially. I do feel if we begin to break the support we've recently just formed on the way back up, we do begin to break it, then there's a high probability that we're coming back down at least towards 194.95. So it's just a matter if we have the margin within that level. So I'm not going to put sells in just now, but what I will put in is buys. If we do drop below it, just sink, then that is another level, a level of support we have formed pretty much at the open today. We do pull back down to that level, form a support above it. I would also look for my buy options to take it back up. So I'm just going to put buys above. That's GJ. I'm just going to remove this for the time being because we're way off it. I'm going to remove the resistance to the upside because we're also way off that. So this horizontal is just a level that price could potentially reject above the previous daily candle's high. There's about 8 pips to that level. So I would probably look to manage the trade if it did tap into that level there. So as we can see right now, we're just trading within the middle of this 30-minute range. So right now, I just need to wait for price to either come back towards that 195.10 to 195.07 roughly, or pull up towards the previous weekly candle's high, only to reject it and look for potential sell below 195.326 and buys above that high upon continuation. Probably want to see a closure above that level if I was to consider it. So that would probably be my catalyst if I was to look for a buy upon continuation. And that is GJ, guys. Hopefully that makes sense. So really not a great deal of volume just now on GJ, which is to be expected. And in the meantime, guys, do hit the like button and we will move on to take a look at gold, which interestingly enough has pulled back to a level that I have marked in on a chart that I sent into the Discord yesterday within the analysis video I also made for the Discord members yesterday. So starting to look interesting, potential level for gold to bounce off for buy options. So once again, if you have not joined that Discord, the link is down in the description below. It's a free group. Join it, guys. I did I think it's about 18-minute video update analysis video on GJ, Gold, and GU yesterday, which I sent into the group along with the chart markups, and I've just recently done a update on NAS as well. So on to gold, guys, without further ado. And let's take a look at it once again in the weekly. So that is a strong bullish candle. It's obviously engulfed the previous candle. I like this pullback, as I mentioned before, falling back to the first level that I would anticipate price could potentially bounce off. Doesn't mean it has to, because there are other levels below it. So just going to mark in that previous week's candle high, the bearish candle, so prior to last week, so from 2 weeks back. I want to see what that lines up with. Got a feeling it lines up with maybe a 4-hour resistance. All right, so strong bullish. Where can we pull back to within the current weekly candle? Against that previous weekly, we'll identify levels on likely the 4-hour and the 30-minute. Daily, structure-wise, we do remain bullish, and we've closed obviously above the most recent resistance, but we have rejected one to the upside. So current candle has created an upper wick, and it's also now pulled back to create a low. So I'm just going to mark in the current candle as high. If we were to flip and continue bullish, there's likely going to be opportunities above the current daily candle as high. So bullish in structure and on probabilities the upside, just making a bit of a pullback just now onto the 4-hour time frame. That also is bullish in structure. And I'm just going to mark in the most recent resistance to the left, which we have just tapped into just now. So it's pulled back to the first potential level that I would anticipate price could do so before it rebounds and head back up. That 50% lines up with a resistance here to the left hand side. We'll see what we've got if we can drag it across to something on a 4-hour, on 30 minutes, sorry. So we are bullish, retesting the most recent resistance that price is broken out of, and let's see what we've got in the M30. All right, so that level does line up with another level a little bit further down. So I would say there are 2 levels of interest for me on gold to pull back to, and likely if we were to continue bullish for the time being anyway, moving forward into today's session or throughout the week, I probably want to see price respect either the current level we're at, which was that previous 4-hour resistance, or the level which lines up with the 50% of that previous weekly candle. I want to see the buyer step in that point there, begin to form a support, and see a bit of structure beginning to form bullish, some series of high lows, high highs, and that could potentially be the lowest point of the weekly for us to head back up in line with that previous strong bullish candle. So for me on gold right now, I'm gonna mark in some resistance as well, don't I, guys? Just jump the gun a bit. Marking that level on the 4-hour. All right, so we're at a level of support. What I want to see is a little bit of structure form just now. The current daily is forming quite strong and bearish. It is obviously very early into the week, so I'm not going to just look for one catalyst at this stage. I want to see a little bit more than that. If we start to form a bit of structure, some high lows, high highs from this support, or either one lower down, that is when I'm going to start to look for a potential buy. So I've wanted to consolidate a bit, pretty much similar to what it's done over here to the left hand side. And if we start to form something like that at the current level of support, I will look for my potential buy option. So buys above, or buyers from lower down at this stage, guys. Monday, so you just be patient and wait for the right opportunity. Now as for resistance, so on the way down within the M30, we have formed resistance at 23.59 to 23.60. Now if we were to continue bullish, we should bounce off this support, retest the highs, and begin to break above it. However, if we respect the resistance formed on the way down and therefore maintain the current daily candle forming bearish, so it's still obviously it's remain bearish, then I will look for my sell option from below 23.59. If we do tap in, begin to reject, create that lower high, then there is a possibility, so long as we respect resistance form within the current daily candle, that we will end up closing potentially a bearish candle on the daily. So I'll be looking for that level there. Interesting to see, did this almost would have given a sell option. So sells below 23.59. Obviously going to be buys above 23.60, because if we were to continue bearish, we should respect resistance as soon as we start to close above it. And then likely scenario will be is price is going to pull back up towards 23.64.50. So I'll look for buys above the most recent resistance form in a current daily candle. Could also potentially pull back to 23.57 and reject. So I would also look for maybe some catalyst to form around that level as well. Kind of lines up this previous support as well. So yeah, so it's just a matter of waiting for the time being. Like I said, I'm not just going to buy gold off the back of one candle. Not this candle anyway. If it's the next candle, it's strong bullish engulfing, and within it we've got a little bit of a catalyst on the 15-minute time frame, perhaps maybe a strong bullish first 15-minute candle followed by a very weak bearish second 15-minute candle that provides that minor resistance at support. It's going to close at M30 bullish engulfing. That may be a trigger potentially. That's probably the earliest potential entry. So that is gold, guys. Hopefully that makes sense. Please do let me know, hit the like button. And yeah, that's GJ and gold. So the focus right now likely to be gold by the looks of it. Yeah, it's likely going to be gold for the time being, guys. All right. In the meantime, let's take a look at GU. So let's see if I can knock all this off by pretty much the end of this 30-minute candle. All right, so looking at GU, looking at the previous weekly, it is a weak bearish candle, lower high, lower low to the previous bullish candle. Obviously, current candle, very little volume just yet, but we are still below a previous support here to the left. So as long as we really remain below 125.50, I feel it's a high probability we will continue to the downside. Onto the daily structure, that does remain bearish as well. So we've got 2 time frames so far downside, very little volume within the current daily candle. Not going to mark any levels just yet. Just some awkward price action again, probably back in the news at the end of last week. It's quite evident in the 4 hour, we're just consolidating. Structurally, we do remain bullish though. Yep, as long as we really remain above this swing point here, then I'd argue it's technically bullish. So bullish, but just in a heavy area consolidation. I'm just going to mark in levels of support and resistance, and they're going to be adjusted as well on the M30. All right, so on to the 30. All right, so as we can see above that previous daily candle high, looks like there's pretty clean traffic. All right, yeah, I think I know what I'll be looking for now at GU. I was looking at before and it looked pretty messy to me, but I'd just be playing either side of the range right now. So above the previous daily candle high, you got some clean traffic to the left. That point there, you obviously got counter probabilities on the upside in the daily. You got the 4 hour structure as being bullish. You've got the 30-minute structure. Technically it's bearish, but off the back of daily counter probabilities, and you'll also be flipping the 30-minute structure bullish at that point. So that's the catalyst. You'd be flipping upon the closure, 30-minute structure bullish in line with the daily counter probabilities and in line with the 4 hour structure. So I'll be looking for buys above. Price does pull up only to reject 125.40 really. I'd be looking for my sellers back down as well, just play the range at this stage. As for the buys from lower down, if price does pop back down to retest 125.20, then I'd be looking for my cows to form in price action to potentially buy it from support. Now, if we do begin to pop below at support, we also got some pretty clean traffic to the left hand side of that, and we're likely going to head back down to create we'll retest the previous daily candles low at that point there, 125 flat roughly, just above that level there. Create more of a low wick on the weekly, if we, and potentially if we were to then finish to flip bullish, just grab liquidity and potentially head back up above that previous daily candles high. That could be a potential level that price pulls back to in order to grab that liquidity. So sells below support just here, 125.181 to be exact. All right, and otherwise buy some above. So that is a GU. Now let me quickly take a look at NAS. All right, starting at the weekly, and a strong bullish candle. Current weekly, very little volume, marking a lot of that. See what got below. It's a strong bullish. If we break the high of the previous, it's likely we're going to head up. Onto the daily, structure wise, we are technically still bearish on this big move to the downside, but we are, as we can see, moving to the upside. We're trending to the upside within the actual structure itself. We've got a high low here, create a high high, approaching a resistance here to the left. So technically bearish, but counter probabilities to the upside. 4 hour is technically bullish. Rejected a resistance here to the left on Friday. Not Friday, sorry, last week. It's Friday. Where did I get that from? It's pretty messy price action on NAS. I think I found it quite difficult during the update video I just did moments before the stream. I sent into the Discord group. As for 4 hour levels, I'm just going to mark in support at 30. I'm not going to bother 4 hour. It's very choppy at the moment. So we're just out of the area of resistance. Above it, we've got some clean traffic to the left. So it's likely going to be buy options above that previous weekly candle high, as I mentioned before. Got some pretty clean traffic on the higher time frame up towards 18,330. Onto the 30-minute time frame. And it's quite evident we've got some clean traffic above the high, so I'll be looking for the buys above the previous weekly candles high upon continuation. Now, as far as levels that price could pull back to, so that's the daily open. I would say as long as it remains, it's very choppy to the downside, guys, to be honest. At this stage, I'm looking for either for the sells anyway, rejection of that previous weekly candles high. As long as we get the right candles in price action, I'd want to sell it from higher up. Otherwise, I'd just be focused on the buys, and it's just a matter of where we could potentially pull back to. We won't necessarily need to create much a lower wick on the current weekly candle, as long as we respect these levels of support formed on the way up. We've got a level just here around at 18,172.5 or 18,172.5. So as long as we respect that level, then create an equal high or higher low, sorry, equal low or higher low, and I would look for buys from that support. We've also got this support a little bit lower down around at 18,162, 18,158. So I'm just looking to see where potentially we could pull back to the former support. At this stage, that's what I'm looking for, buys above levels of support. I'm not interested in selling it unless it rejects the resistance at the highs at 18,238, 18,325, that sort of region. So that is NAS quickly. Really, I'd let it create more data before looking to execute upon anything. DJ still below resistance. Gold so far closing above the support, but still need to wait for some greater confirmations. And I'll be with you guys in just one moment. All right, who we got here today? Sexy, good morning to you, my friend. Lau, good morning to you. Dorothy, good morning to you. Hope you're well. English Cartoon, good day. Franco, good morning, brother. Acha, good morning to you, bro. Vishal, good morning. Do you offer mentorship? I do. Right now, it's just in the form of private coaching. And also the course you do get some mentorship with it. But the actual VIP will be opening probably next month, I would say, or right near the end of this month. So that will offer mentorship in a group sort of setting. Been working hard on some content for that over the past few weeks as well. Archard also directed you to Discord link below. So, yep, get a lot for free in there right now. Frank, good day to you. Hope you're well up in sunny Queensland. Carl F, good morning to you, my friend. All right, so gold just bouncing. Interesting. we get a catalyst, or is it going to go without us? Either way, irrespective of whether it does go without us or not, it's good to see, first of all, that it is respecting this level. That is the level that I did anticipate we could pull back to before we head back up. I just patiently need to wait for my catalyst before I execute and buy. I'm not just going to buy it based off price tapping into a level. I don't know the probability of that sort of scenario. I've not tested it, so I patiently need to wait. Vishal just joined the Discord. Nice one. Welcome. Guys, also, if you have not done so yet, make sure to watch this week's trade recap video. I actually did something a little bit different this week. I'll pop a link into the chat. I went over a trade that I took off the stream. I was Gbpjpy on Thursday during Asian session. I just really wanted to share with you guys what confidences I had, why I took the trade. So yeah, so I've just shared a link into the chat. You're welcome to, in your own time, have a look at it. Maybe just open it up on a new window and then have a watch of it later. Frank picked up 26 on gold as it came down earlier. Nice one. Should have sent it into the Discord, my friend. Guys, be really engaged. Enjoy getting to know each other in the chat. I want it to be a real tight-knit community. So always feel free to chat away. And gold bouncing, not bothered at all, because it's not my trade either way. If it goes to this level, I don't have the confirmation to take it just yet, so all well and good. Be looking for potential sells if that's to be the case from higher up if it rejects. Don't even have a confirmation on the 15-minute, so just not my trade, not fussed at all. BJ approaching that previous weekly high. The GJ starting to get a little bit more interesting. See, Bitcoin is struggling around a 60k level yet again. Yeah, I still feel if you get daily closures below that 60k on Bitcoin, I really think eventually would make a deeper pull back towards that 53k, I think it was. We got the most recent swing point here, but below that, I think 52 to 50k could be on the cards. If you have a nice strong closure below current support, next target is 58 flat. You can see at the moment the momentum is to the downside, creating consecutive lower highs, lower lows on the daily time frame. So, interesting to see what does eventuate. While rejecting, that's why for me there was no impulse entries. Still don't have any confirmation that this is actually going to hold its support just yet. Not until we have a 30-minute candle closing back bullish would I consider it a potential low of the day. Good to see we're closing in on that 1,000 sub mark as well, guys. So it's been really quick. I'm really happy with the way things have been going. So I will do a special giveaway for the 1,000 sub stream. Yet to be decided what exactly the giveaway will be. We've got a few ideas, so you guys also know the deal. The more likes I get, the more friendly I become. The more likely I will do more giveaways live without any warning. So do make sure to hit the like button, guys, so we get more onto the stream. Right now, we're patient. If you just joined, we're patiently waiting on GJ. It's approaching the previous weekly counts high. I want to see if it starts to pop above it, close above it for potential buys. I want to see how we react to it also for potential sales from that level. And on gold, waiting to see if we form support at this level, which I've marked in. Based off the higher time frame, that could be potentially the weekly candle's low. Or we form a support to head back up to retest the current daily / weekly high and potentially that previous weekly candle's high. We've also got a level a little bit below that we could still pull back to before we form a support. I don't want GJ to absolutely fly at this point. Reason being is because we're gonna have no margin at all to 4-hour resistance. So I'll actually mark it back in. I'm happy with that zone. No, it's a massive zone. Is there anything we can do in the hourly? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Just marking for horizontals where price could potentially reject, but I do see it also potential for it to come up to around that 195, 60, 65 sort of level. But once again, it's why I don't just place a buy, stop, set and forget as price breaks that previous weekly candle's high, because look where it's coming from. So far it's tapped into that level, it's rejecting it. Wait for the confirmation. Yes, it means sometimes you're going to miss the move, but a lot of times it's going to also save you from a reckless move that's going to have you in severe drawdown, and also have you closing out or taking a full stop loss, which is again the worst thing that could happen, especially on a Monday. I think just took 50% TP on GJ as it hit yesterday's high, waiting to see if it would break that level. Normally you do see a bit of movement GJ in the last hour before the London Open. Yeah, you do. What I see is the best options today would have been probably just here. Break of this minor resistance. But I was not on the chart at all around that time, so would I have taken it? No idea. I'm never in a hurry, especially on a Monday. But yeah, well done. But again, more credit if you actually sent it into the Discord prior to the move, my friend. But nonetheless, happy that you took some profits. Always happy to see you guys do well. Silent, good day to you. We're trading pre-London now Sunday. There's a lot of volume. Sunday. You talking about Asian or? silent. I've been hold gold. It's almost tapping into money moving averages. Gold has a lot of volume most Sundays. Are you in the US, my friend? Or are you in the UK? How's GJ had a pause? It's had a pause in the middle of this range. How far's it moved since? Yeah, not too far. I have to wait and see if it does close above first. What I would love to see is 5-minute closure above on GJ, followed by at least one of the final 2 5-minute candles closing back bearish, tapping into this zone, only for the 30-minute to close a catalyst candle above the zone. And then what this candle itself is saying to me within it, we have closed above it, we've retested that resistance, and we've remained above that level. So new candle, then all I want to see is a bit of a low wick, and as it begins to break above that catalyst candle's high, that potentially could be an option on GJ. We've got no closure above, so want it to be preferably this candle closes above, followed by a bearish closure tapping into this zone, and then followed by the final 5 minutes closing back bullish above it. So it remains to be seen. Vishal, when do you start trading, sir? When I see fit, when price action, and when the charts give me what I want to see in accordance to my plan. I've done my analysis. You saw me do my analysis before. You know the levels I want to get involved in the trade. I just patiently need to wait. I don't just, like I said, I don't just place buy stop, sell stops at certain levels. Yes, it's approach the level I'm interested in buying. It's also approach the level I'm interested in selling it from. I just need to wait for my right confluences to look for a potential entry. And right now I don't have it. I need to wait for the closure above for the buy. I need to wait for resistance to form at this level for a potential sell. So nothing right now. Simply need to wait. Patience pays. I cannot tell you a given time of every day when I'll take a trade. All I can say is we've been really strict with our entries. We've created the rules. First of all, we've had it planned when we created rules, and we've stuck to it. We haven't taken a loss for a long time on stream. I think it's around 11 or 12 wins in a row at the moment. I've been meaning to get that journal ready. I will do so, hopefully this week. Oh, Vishal, all good, brother. All good. About 7 years ago, more than 7 years ago now. It was 2017, around the beginning, I think, of 2017. So a little over 7 years now. All right, so GJ currently rejecting. What would I want to see for a sell from this level? Probably bearish engulfing. M15, it's going to close the 30-minute back bearish. After we tapped into that previous weekly high only to reject it, that could be potential sells. Issue with that is we have very little margin to the 15-minute support. That's the only thing. So you'll have a catalyst, but it doesn't mean it's the best area to be trading within because you're running straight into a 15-minute support. First of all, I want to see how it closes. Once again, it's early. It's only Monday, guys. There is absolutely no rush. Vishal, on the 30-minute candle, can we look at, I think this is at the stupid emoji things away, a liquidity sweep and then come back down? From the upside, we potentially could have just done so by tapping into that resistance, and we are rejecting quite strongly just now. So yes, it could be, but once again, I still rather wait for that confirmation of the closure on the M30. And the issue of this time, I mean, if it continues right now, it's likely going to pretty much make the move within the candle itself. So you might have the confirmation, but it doesn't always mean that it's going to give you the option next candle, because sometimes your confirmation candle, your catalyst candle, will actually also make the move that you want to get involved in at the same time. So there's a fair bit of volume right now. Has to close bearish engulfing for me to consider any sort of entry. Otherwise, the next option will be, I think you guys know exactly what my next option will be. Wait for this candle to close strong bearish. Just gonna set up the zoom so I can annotate, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. You guys probably already know it though. So what I would like to see, this candle closes strong bearish without engulfing, is the following 15-minute candle, the new candle, closing weak bullish like so, creating that minor support, and the second 15-minute candle of the new M30 begins to break below that minor support. It's breaking 30-minute candles low also at the same time. Previous 30-minute count likely, or otherwise it'll be breaking its own candles low likely, because it could just pop down to break the low of the previous 30-minute candle prior to closing bullish. And as it breaks low of that weak bullish pause, that could be an entry. But right now it's making a move within the catalyst candle, so here's what it is. No entry on GJ. Does look better on a 30-minute. It does look a lot better. Just to focus on a 30-minute, you do have a little bit more margin. It's still not great. It's still only 10 pips. Yeah, I'm gonna wait on GJ. All right, so 5 minutes remaining of this M30 candle. So this is the EU open candle, and right now we're flipping back bullish. So we'll see where we close. Gold's trying to push back above that support. So if I was to consider any gold entry right now, it would have to be a bullish engulfing 15-minute candle, and it's likely I can only be a massive stop loss as well. Yeah, not great. Essentially what I want to see on gold is a bit of consolidation above this support, and then hop above it, close above it, and it could be buys back up towards most recent resistance formed on the way down at 23.59 sort of level. Pichal, it's been 2 months since I've started in Forex market, slowly understanding it, but a lot more to learn. It takes time, man. It's a long journey. A really long journey. It will take some people longer than others as well. It's always good to be part of a master group in that, because that can also fast track your learning. But just be patient with it, because you're gonna have your ups and downs. You're gonna have your times where you think it can't be done. What you have to do is just continue, stick through it. Take the good with the bad. Learn to trade with proper habits. I mean, practicing proper habits. So decide what works for you. It might be the way I trade, might be the way someone else trades, might be another streamer's trade, the way he trades. But you need to decide what works best for you. Practice it over a data set of results of at least a few months minimum, maybe 3 or so months. See what sort of results you're getting, and then you begin to pick up on your strengths and weaknesses. What I would suggest is focus on your strengths and avoid the weaknesses. Play to your strengths. Don't worry about what you're not good at. Just put those aside. Just be aware of what you're not good at, and then when it comes to your time and charts, if let's just say it's an impulse entry, you avoid them. Learn to control emotions, which is by far one of the most difficult things for any trader. For me, it's simple as right now, because for me, I've got it down to a system where I mark up my chart. I know exactly where I want to get involved. I create rules for when price is at that level as to what I want to see. If it ticks the box, I enter. If not, no FOMO. None of it's based on emotion. It's all based on actual price action rules, things like that. My plan, my analysis. You learn fair value gap, supply and demand, structure, liquidity, etc. Learned it through a private class from a guy I found online, but it's getting confusing when I mix them all together. Very confusing. I even say it to my guys, the guys that I coach. Out of all the different entry types that I have in my toolbox, focus on just one or two of them. Otherwise, you're just going to get confused. And focus on just doing them right. What of all, like, which ones of all the different types resonate with you? That's what I always say to them. And then once you've determined which ones suit you more, your personality, the way you trade, just focus on doing them right. Because it can be a mess. It can be really confusing when you got so many different things going on, so many different ways of getting involved in a trade, or different strategies, different edges. Wow, GJ is becoming a little bit volatile at this current level. Want to see the closure above. Want to see a closure above, or if this doesn't close above, want to see a new candle. See what it does in the first minute or two. If it pops up, will not enter until it pops back down, creates a lower wick, and then begins to break above its own high or the previous candle's high if it is a little bit higher up. So the focus is GJ right now, guys. Are we going to close above? Minimum, it has to close above the bodies and the candles to the left when you consider anything. And it's not done so. So that's rule setting. No entry. Simple. No emotions. I know now, in accordance to my rules, I cannot enter. Reason being, price did not close above the bodies, first of all, the candles to the left, to give me, I'll change the color, to give me any confirmation that we could be ready to continue to the upside. If we begin to break above, my catalyst at that point would have been a nice strong closure above the bodies of the candles to the left within this gray zone. We have not done so, so that's a cross. And the second option, obviously, well, number one option is closure above, which again we have not done so. So we've closed back below the resistance. For me, there is no entry on GJ if it breaks the high just now. Just need to wait and see where we're at full London Open. And that is simple, emotionless trading. Just trading in accordance to the plan, in accordance to what presents. You react after candles print. Once you have data on, with more as data prints, you reassess. You create some new rules, and you react if and when the time comes. And that's simply how I do it. Gold right now is a bit of a mess, so there is nothing for me. Definitely the focus will be GJ for the time being. Vishal, how has live trading been going on for you? What made you start this journey? On YouTube, you're talking about? I enjoy it because the way I see it is I feel comfortable, confident, and I'm competent enough in doing what I do. I'll be trading myself at this time of day, so I might as well just do it, you know, in front of an audience. There's no reason not to. I mean, I can help others to learn a bit about what has helped me to become a confident, competent trader, consistent trader. I enjoy educating others. So yeah, I've been streaming. I was on another stream for about a year and a half, but I decided to do my own thing as of this year, and I've been on this stream for about 6 weeks now, 6-7 weeks, and it's been going really well, really well. Over the past 15 months, I've developed my own course as well. I've really enjoyed putting that together. By the way, guys, for the guys who have already bought it, when I will be doing updates throughout, so whenever I do an update, I will send it to you. So that's the benefit for you if you do buy the course. You always get the updated version as I create an update, because that's just how trading is. We always evolve. My trading changes, not drastically, but I see things on a chart and I add different ways to get involved in trades. More so of late, as you guys can see, the limit orders. Been taking a lot of those of late. About a year back, I would never take a limit order. So I've got different ways now of getting involved, and as I adapt to the markets, I will update the course when I see fit. Alright, good morning to you, mate. Hope you're well, brother. We got it's under 26 minutes until London Open. We'll see where we're at for the London Open candle. Alright, Discord guys, I've sent a link into the Discord chat if anyone wants to hop on to the Zoom call. Feel free. You're more than welcome to. You can do so. Just make sure to watch the YouTube stream on another device. That'd be much appreciated. I was actually going to go stream live, dual stream on TikTok today, but I realized you need access to a stream key. You need to apply for it, apparently, on TikTok. I never knew that. So I thought, bugger that, it's too late. So that previous weekly candle, the high of it, the resistance formed at that level. So far, proving to be a pretty big sticking point for price to break above. We are rejecting it quite heavily. We even rejected it quite heavily within the candle actually taps into it, the previous bullish candle. We're doing the exact same just now. Alright, ladies and gents, I shall be back in a minute. Just give me 2 minutes, guys. Alrighty guys, I am back. DJ is absolutely melting. All good. Right back in the middle of this range, so no problem. Wait and see where this closes. It could be potential sell limit orders at the open. Right now I want to see this candle close quite significantly below the low of that previous bullish candle, so engulf it. And then I may consider a sell limit order at London Open as the new candle pulls back, creates up a wick. Potentially could put that limit order back below of that bullish candle. Worked quite effectively of late, so we'll see. It could be a potential option, but once again, has to be perfect. No rush. First day of the week, plenty of time left. We just wait and see. Terrific. Good morning to you, my friend. Brooks, do you trade MI session? I do trade Tuesdays and Wednesdays with the Discord guys. It's just a Discord members only call. So that's pretty much the only time I trade MI. The only other time I will trade is when I do my MI update for the Discord members, if something is looking like it could be on the cards. So that's about an hour and a half prior to MI open. Then I may stick around a little bit, but usually I don't bother with it. I feel in trading lists is more. I don't want to be stuck on the stream, on the charts for more than a few hours of a day. So yeah, so I won't force anything. So the only time I will trade it, other than if I'm with the guys on MY, is if it looks too good to as far as my rules, it ticks all the boxes when I do the update video. Vishal, is it possible to do analysis once more from weekly, daily, 4 hour and 30 minute? Well, structure wise, weekly do it, but I want to focus on the charts right now. So weekly, strong bullish based off that previous candle. If you're in doubt, you can use the fib from top to bottom stops close to above 15. So we know it's strong bullish. As a high low to previous daily structure is bullish or remain bullish above this point here, as long as it continues to close above it. Counter probability is the upside. 4 hour structure, I'd say, is technically, this changes every single day. Every single time I look over, I swear this doji candle here changes from bullish to bearish. Technically right now it's bullish, but I swear when I start the stream this is bearish. This candle. So why I want to know if it's bullish or bearish is because if we have 2 or more consecutive candles pulling back in the opposite direction, that to me creates a swing. So we've got the highest point of structure up at these highs over 200. Right, so this isn't a swing, it's just a pause. No consecutive candle pullback. Before this was bearish, 2 candles in a row, so that would have been a swing point. So therefore it would be bearish in accordance to that. But right now, technically off what you see right now, it's bullish as long as it remains above 190.26 to be exact. So just consolidating though. 30-minute structure, that was the high of close above, which is here. So as long as we remain above technically this swing point here, we've got a couple candle pullback just here, so I just use this whole level as a swing point, this area consolidation. As long as we remain above 194.834, we are bullish. Unless we create a higher high, so close above the highest point, the previous highest point, that will confirm a higher high, and then we've got a 2 candle pullback just here. But then you got to argue, do we include this wick? So be even lower down. It's, yeah, that's just a basic rundown of all the different time frames. Now I know I'm rejecting a potential level that I want to get involved for a buy above or a sell at. It's just a matter of whether I get the right confirmation to do so just now, so I just need to wait. Really not a great deal of margin within this range on GJ as well. Mr. Phil, good day to you. Michelle, all good, my friend, all good. So if you want some free education, just watch some of those analysis videos I sent into the Discord group, and also just watch the trade recap videos that I've posted onto YouTube. I do it every Sunday. I pick a trade from the week that I want to focus on, and share with you what my confluences were and why I took it and how I went about managing it and so on and so forth. So the latest one, I have shared a link into the chat a little bit higher up, so definitely recommend watching it. Mr. Phil, quick question. Looking at daily candles, GJ, can you see that the bullish momentum has been reducing from past 3 to 4 candles? Doesn't that concern you? I wouldn't necessarily say so, to be honest. I think they're still quite strong body candles. And what they're also forming is higher lows, higher highs. So as long as we continue to do so, then for me, it's still likely to head up. But once again, doesn't mean I don't plan for the sell options. But whilst bias is bullish, structure is bullish. Previous weekly was also a strong bullish candle. Right now, I still favor the side of the buys, but I am fully aware that we could potentially pull back further into that previous weekly candle before we maybe form a support to head back up. But once again, I'm not really concerned by it, because I'm only looking for small movements within price action. You guys know I'm looking for anywhere between 8 to 30, 40, 50, 60 pips is usually the max I hold a runner for. So I'm not so overly concerned by the overall picture, the high time frame picture. I'm just more looking into it for what it's providing me as far as the direction. So if it's the weekly candle, it's forming strong bullish. You guys know, for instance, what I think of that. If coming towards Wednesday, Thursday session, you may pull back to form a support within it to head back up. Things like that. So more so for the direction, but again, not too concerned by the way the daily candles have been forming. I think it's fine. Brian, cheers to you too, my friend. Brooks, no, I don't trade funded. Been thinking about, look, I have a funding account, but it's not, personally, I don't trade it. It's through an algorithm, which myself and a mate have been working on. But next step is possibly my own funding account. I want to maybe have a crack at it. But I think the only one that I really trust is FDMO. Because I know people who've been getting payouts, and payouts sometimes within minutes, no joke, of a payout request. Actually, that reminds me to do something. All right, gold's still pulling back, so let's see if it respects 50% against that previous weekly candle. Is that correct? Yeah, it's a little bit lower down, but looks at it. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so these are two levels above the 50%. And I feel it could potentially form a support at, rebound and head back up. As far as the 50%, we've got this level a little bit lower down, 23.35 roughly. GJ continuing, so it looks like it may make the move within the catalyst candle. Happens sometimes, not much you can do about it, but there is volume. Just wait and see. Tapping into this 15-minute support, almost. Alright, so it's tapping into it now, 15-minute support. Let's see if it does actually just bounce off it a little bit. Still might give us an option for a limit order sell if it does, so if it doesn't just melt straight through it. So remember, it needs to close about 5 or 6 pips minimum on GJ. Gold about 7, 8 plus pips. So this candle really needs to close basically at its low at this point if I was to consider limit order sell at the open. Hey, good day, brother. How are you? I am all good, my friend.
Morning, mate.
G'day, brother. How are you?
How you doing? You alright?
All good, man. Sorry I didn't even see you there. So, what's going on? How was the weekend?
Yeah, not bad, man. How was yours?
All good, all good. Just busy. Busy as always, so.
That's good. That's good, man.
That's
Just
it, man.
on the chart, so enjoying life.
What's that?
I said, were you on the chart, so enjoying life?
Oh, I wish I was enjoying life. Helping the family is not necessarily enjoying life. It's you just gotta pull your weight when it's one of those things. When I'm here, I have to pull my weight, otherwise I never hit it. But if I want to cut for the business, then it's one of those things. But yeah, so it's all right, mate. It's always this time of year. It's a busy time of year, so
That's good, man. That's good. It's actually good to be to be honest.
Yeah, that's it. And between doing some stuff, obviously on the charts as well, so it kept me really busy. But
Yeah.
that's it. Waiting on to see how GJ closes. Waiting on gold to see where it pulls back to, and yeah.
Yeah, gold might pull back to that level you said, 35. It's going a bit aggressive. It needs to break under here, then it will be a nice correction.
If it breaks below 40, 45 roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we pull back into here and do that, it's a nice area.
Yeah, I agree. Could potentially pull back to, and that's lines up 50% that previous weekly candle. So
Yeah. I mean, the way it's come towards it. So far it's just coming back into this traffic. They call it grinder.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if it grinds through, then you're gonna have a nice sell-off.
Yep. Yeah, potentially. Yeah, it could be.
I'm just watching it now. I needed to hold this area until the new hour starts. I'll probably pump up again.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's if it starts to pop back above 23.53 roughly. Could be options, but just don't like that wick.
Nah. I think on gold it's making that Monday move right now.
Yeah, you need to be patient with it.
I'll send a picture in the Discord later on what usually happens on Mondays.
Yeah, go for it. Oof, look at GJ.
Yeah. So GJ, I'm watching this area. If this area doesn't hold, so where we are right now.
Yep.
If we don't, we potentially could come back towards your next zone.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I'm looking for below 195.70 roughly.
Yeah. So if this doesn't hold, it's gonna come here and retest this. But the way it's coming at it, you want the new hour to be respecting this and going back above.
Yeah. Correct. It's really strong sell-off, a lot of volume.
It's more of a correction, I think. Anyway, it's still towards the upside, but it's Monday, man.
Yeah, it's
for Bank of Japan last night.
Yeah, something happened? I heard something.
I don't know, to be honest. Like the JPY is a trade that you can never leave overnight.
Bank of Japan trims bond buying in regular operation amid pressure on yen. Okay. I knew I heard something earlier today.
Yeah, they always come in, make a move and leave.
Of course. Yeah, so GJ's made a move within the current candle. Likely just going to avoid London Open for the time being and wait a little bit longer, see how we react to the support. Has to pull back the stage about... Hold on, let me do that again. About 6.5 pips. Not bad. Yeah, I'm not trusting at the moment, guys. In all honesty. It's bouncing off this 15-minute support as well. So it's remaining above it. I think it needs to just choose which way it wants to move. If it come back down to support and respect it, or make the move down and buy it from lower down at this stage. The way it's pulling back just now too, it's just showing me that the 15-minute time frame within, tapping into all these wicks as well. It's a bit of a mess in the current level. All right, so less than 1 minute. Nothing on gold. Likely to be nothing on GJ also. Don't even know if it's going to close sufficiently below either way.
So what we did, we kind of tapped into all that, respected it.
Yep, so far.
Yeah. And then if you get obviously another tap on the hour, I'll prefer it to hit here and come back up.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, but the way it just respected it, new hour started, just see what the new hour does in the first.
Yep. Yeah, I would prefer it to come back lower down, form the support to take back up, but but as long as it respects all that to the left, which lines up the most recent 15-minute support, then it may not necessarily need to do so.
Nah, on the hour, it kind of just cleaned the body up as well.
Yeah, I don't like closures like that, to be honest.
Yeah, that means more towards the downside.
Yeah, but to me it just means you need to wait, because you got a fair distance to travel just to break the low of that candle, and that would be on a 30-minute time frame. That's likely where I'll take the entry if I was to use this as a catalyst candle. And having said that, you're running straight into support yet again, so it's just it's a shit area. I mean, just looking, this whole area is just right now, more data that prints within it, the more difficult it becomes to actually trade this area, this range.
Yeah, it's very, very narrow. Very narrow.
Well, from the support to resistance, there's 24 pips roughly, which is a very, very small range at the moment that's trading within.
That's where you go to trade on the second 30-second charts.
So you say not even a minute will give you options.
I mean,
what is the lowest they go down to? I think you need Gbpjpy Pro, don't you?
Yeah, I think you
1
have
second.
to have the Pro on seconds and all that, yeah.
Oh mate, imagine that.
Some people actually do it, I don't know how, but
I would have no idea how.
they even have time to get into a trade.
Oh mate, you need to be on bloody relaxants or some shit, just to, otherwise the stress levels go through the roof.
Yeah, I don't like to go below 30 to be honest. Just 15 and 5 for confirmation, but never take trades on them.
Minute time frame, not a second. Yeah, I'm the same. Usually the 30 is always my catalyst, but I can use the 15 and 5 as confluence to enter. But 95% of the time, I'd be waiting on a 30-minute closure.
Yeah, so if I'm looking for a sell and you have your area here, I want a 30 to close under, then I'll switch to the 5 just to see if I see a double top or something.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I will not change the area, so the area will
I agree. The issue, like we said before, there is such little margin between resistance and support that any candle that closes bearish is going to eat up into a fair bit of the margin down to the support.
Yeah.
And if you start to consolidate a bit just here, then obviously you've got no clean traffic at all, so price could reject here and then bounce back off support if it forms it again now, which means you got absolutely zero margin whatsoever. It's just means you need to wait. Simple.
If you look at that move on a 5 minute, I mean, on a 5 minute you get caught.
Yep.
Because it closed, so obviously you'll miss this. This will be your retest, and probably someone will take this one.
Take a sell. Yep.
Yeah.
Get wrecked.
Yeah, and also here again, peaks below a couple of times, people get into sell, they get caught sell side and it goes north.
Yep.
That's small time closer always.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I refrain from clicking over to the 5 minute so often. I mean,
look at this. This is your 30 area.
Yeah.
You had the 30 close back under, so
Exactly.
on the 5 you've taken that one. More secure because you had a 30 close in here. So on the 5 you saw kind of a retest and you could have just taken.
Yeah, still quite aggressive. Obviously, about 30-minute closure prior to, I think, because that was the closure just here. So again, yeah, I understand it, but the thing is, you based off that, you've got absolutely no margin to support, and it's literally bouncing off that level. So for me, it's like just trying to find a needle within a haystack at the moment. It's just, there is nothing. As much as you go down the time frames, yes, you can validate entries, but there is, fact of the matter is, there is no clear area to be trading within.
Yeah, this is the area we go on a 5 minute. So this is gonna come, touch this. And then react.
Yeah. And the 5 minutes, there's too much going on in 5 minute. For the average trader. For me, I begin to look at it once we're approaching, for instance, this level, when I want to get involved in buy above. Then I can sometimes go down to the 5 minute just to see if we actually closing above, and we've got a retest within the candle that closes above on the 30 minute. If so, that gives me confidence to buy it on continuation. Things like that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's way too much data.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're going to get involved in buys 1 minute, and the next minute you'll be looking for a sell, or next 5 minutes, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, if you're flipping your bias every 30 minutes. So any of my guys that come to me, when they tell me they sometimes enter on the 5 minute, straight away I just completely remove that from their trading, and it's off a massive benefit for them all. Up and up, good morning to you, brother. Brooks, who else is speaking? New to stream. That's RR, so you see him in the chat as well, the YouTube chat. It's yeah, that's him in the background. We usually got quite a few people popping in and out. Some of the regulars, RRs are regular, but some of the others haven't been on off late. I know for a fact some have been away, so that's all good. Anil, goal. Nothing. Absolutely nothing on goal. Just need to wait. Once again, guys, it's Monday. I always say on Monday, to be honest, I feel it's probably of more benefit to trade MY, because you've had 2 full sessions of data print, so you've got obviously more data to go off. Often an Asian session will be a little bit stagnant on a Monday, so it's hard to know what to make of it. And so far, London's just, it's not giving me enough to look to take any trade at the moment. But once again, we'll see. Still got time.
This one should come back into the zone.
Yeah, it looks like it could. Yeah. I mean, that limit order would have worked, but again, just didn't close low enough.
Too tight. Yeah, it's too tight.
2 pip pull back on a new wick at new candle, London Open, is not enough for me. Down she goes.
Yeah,
what's
on the
next?
owl, all right. Because it's kind of just from there.
Yeah, on the alley.
Yeah, so as soon as he cleaned it out, I mean, if you're aggressive, once it cleans the
Yeah,
body, you can.
very aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, once again, I see what you mean, but for me, it's just no, there is no margin. There is nothing that's really clean.
All that.
Yeah, there's nothing that's just screaming out at me right now. Mr. Phil, what I think of GU shorts? Issue is you're selling it into 4-hour support. It's just consolidating on a 4-hour. Similar to GJ, it's kind of made the move from the previous candle. I think better options are below 1.2518. Much cleaner below that level. It's a good chance we'll head back down to 1.25 flat. So that's what I'd be waiting for right now.
Yeah, since you're coming into the Sunday low as well.
Yep. So see if it respects it or starts to pop below it.
Yeah, if it pops below, it's all good. But
yeah,
ideally, if he's in a sell, you should have stops there.
Yep. Well, it has no need. It has a low, high, low, low. So it has no need to flip back bullish or break its own high. So it should now continue. Yeah. The issue with that, once again, it's GU. So that's only 3 pips for it to flip back bullish.
Let's say go in heavy lot.
Well, with a stop loss above the candle, the entry candle, then you're at 1-to-1 right now. So I'd be securing the bag if that were me. So if some of the guys that I coach trade it, and I've said to them, if you got a 5-6 pip stop loss, don't worry about targeting 10. If you're risking 1.5% or 2%, just target a 1-to-1. Leave a tiny runner maybe if you like, just to see. But there is no written law. Like people say, oh, 10 pips is nothing. You know, some people say 30-40 pips is nothing. It's up to you. Honestly, it's up to you. And if you've got, yeah, okay, I understand, it makes no sense if you got 50-60 pip stop loss securing at 5 pips or so. But look, as long as you're comfortable with your risk, as long as you're comfortable with what your target is and that, and you can accept all that, and it's really up to you. I've secured some trades at 7-8 pips at times when price is tapping into a potential level on 15 or something I'm a bit worried about. But generally speaking, it's minimum 10. And now, so GJ is approaching that level right now. Let's see.
Yeah.
Mr. Phil, I can see your name pop up there. G'day to you.
Yeah.
How are you, mate?
Good morning. I'm good. How about you?
All good, bro. All good.
How is it going so far?
All good, man. Just patiently waiting. Waiting to see if GJ respects this support. I kind of want it to do so. Because if it melts now, it'd be a bit late for me to get involved in sells during the stream. Yeah, other than that, gold's just doing gold things right now. It's not giving me any confirmation to take any trade. Good thing is we form resistance just below that support, which normally what I'd then be waiting for is a closure above it, above the most recent resistance form, which is technically a bearish candle's high after that support. The issue with that though, I don't like this wick. I really don't like that wick. That's very off-putting. And
will be meaning you will have to wait for it to go above that, which will increase your stop loss and all of that.
Likely. But to be honest, at this stage, what I'm likely to do is wait for it to create a series of high lows, high highs, and then begin to trust it that it could be ready to head back up. So still could come down a bit further, as RR and I both mentioned earlier as well. The 50% the previous weekly candle lines up with this area of liquidity to the left hand side that it still could potentially pull back to. I feel if it drops below 23.45, then there is a good chance it will actually pull back to that level. So I'd be looking for my buys from there. But having said that, Also, what I'm looking at is to see where we've formed some pullbacks within the current daily candle, form a resistance. And if price was to reject those levels, I could potentially sell it from those levels. So this is another level I'd probably mark in just now. A price could pull back to, form a resistance at 23.55. And if it rejects that level, I could potentially sell it. So that's all I'm waiting for. Confirmations from lower down, which I don't have at all, or a sells upon the pullback. GU melting. Yeah, so I'll be waiting for the closure on personally on 30 for me.
Yeah, he wanted to break this.
Yep. That's the current daily low.
Yeah, I think it's last night.
Yep.
So you're always gonna have lots of orders in that area. So if you break under it, you feel more comfortable for that being on your side if you're going down.
Yep.
And it's also a bit of a area as well to cut through. So that's why I said, like, when you get there, you just want to TP. And then obviously make sure you don't go back above that. This is going to continue downwards. Cleans this out. You got a nice area to pick.
Yeah, it needs to close below it.
Yeah,
Start cutting
don't
through.
want to be new money sells in this area at all. So if you jumped in here, then obviously break even because it has no business to go back up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
We should be just picking this order area.
Yeah,
until we break it.
agree. That would have been also a target had I been in a trade. Definitely will look because you got a clean candle. So you're likely going to pull back to that level, which lines up with liquidity to the left-hand side as well. So that definitely would be a target. And like you said, has no need to pull back up and flip bullish.
Yeah.
So that's where your stop loss should be right now.
We should be in the money already.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah.
Silent goal was the trade I was holding after I got my entry. TP by moving average. I learned from older better than A.C.T. My first mentor actually worked in Wall Street, New York. Okay. Here was the entry for Asian session. Let me take a look. Oops. That's not right. All right, so you entered at 23.57, 985. Okay, so you entered below that doji bearish candle, by the looks of it, which tapped into previous support just here. So I'm assuming the confirmation for you was the rejection of that level, or did you enter as it just broke that candle's low? But once again, you're using moving averages as well.
For.
What's that?
He was looking for that to cross.
The moving average?
Yeah.
Probably. So as soon as that crosses, that's when you enter. Is that right?
That might be a strategy.
I have no idea, man. I don't trade moving averages.
I don't rely on. Like, I only do the EMA on 50 and 100 and 200 just on a higher time frame.
Yep.
Just to see where the market is. And
I mean, we used to use them when I was swing trading, but that's a longer term picture. So to me, it sort of made more sense.
yeah, like,
yeah,
if the market you feel like is way overbought or oversold, you want to look at where that 50 and 100 and 200 is, because usually you try to come back to it.
Yeah, RSI and all that too. Keep an eye. We used to keep an eye on that a fair bit.
Okay.
Overbought, oversold territory. Crossovers as well. Stochastic RSI, things like that.
Yeah, there's some people use it. I don't know. Just feel like if it's there for free,
Yeah.
not there to make.
Well, to be honest, man, when we're scalping, what works for me is just price action. Plain and simple. That's all. Some levels of support resistance. I can literally trade like that without without any markups. Honestly, I could do it. Sometimes I'd need to pull up a horizontal or something just to make sure I've got a closure above or below or whatever, but otherwise I could simply trade off a naked chart, no problem whatsoever. Silent, I just passed another Thunder account. I don't trade Crossbro a lot. Oh, okay, so you don't trade when it crosses. A lot of people don't understand how to trade moving averages. I suppose there's different ways to actually trade it as well. So GJ bouncing off that support. Gold. Shit, right now, nothing. Also, Discord guys, I'll be on for MY Tuesday and Wednesday this week. I think that's the way forward, to be honest. Stick to a routine.
On Wednesday.
Yeah, there's a heap of news this week, isn't it?
It's gonna be very volatile.
It is.
So you
got tomorrow PPI that will shake things up a bit, but obviously you got even the Fed chair speaking Tuesday around 2 hours into my session, and yeah, all this. That's gonna be huge.
You just don't want to have a horse in a race on that day.
It is. That's what it's like.
Yeah.
Honestly. So.
Because this is the only thing right now the market is looking for.
CPI.
To actually bring the market back down. Yeah.
That is the big one. Yeah. I've had discussions with my mate about things as well with our little robot venture, and I've got it switched off at the moment. Likely won't trade it this week, to be honest. So doing a responsible thing in my opinion anyway.
Nah, there's no point guessing it because
the last thing you'll do is get stuck in a sequence of buys or sells and it goes against you and that's it.
Yeah, because you wouldn't know. I mean, a lot of people look at oil prices and use that as, you know, if oil prices have been dropping, then inflation should be cooling.
Yeah.
But the reality is you've had 3 months of higher CPI print because of oil prices, but right now transportation is also at its highest.
Yep.
You know, so the goods that get delivered into your country is actually costing more, so they're putting that price back on the price tag.
Yep.
For the consumers.
So that's if you get some conflicting data as well.
And if you got a dollar going up, it doesn't make a difference because if your dollar's worth less, then
exactly, it's buying you less, and it's yeah, exactly. I mean, the Fed have come out and said that it's becoming a lot more difficult than what they anticipated would to control inflation.
Yeah, the numbers they had on Friday wasn't good at all.
I didn't even see, to be honest, man. I wasn't paying any attention whatsoever. Okay, yep. Consumer sentiment very, very low.
And then obviously this.
Oh, prelim. Yep.
Yeah. So this is something they do to see if overall the expectations actually went up.
Yep. So that anticipating could be an increase in CPI.
Yeah, they're trying to bring this back to 2%.
Yep.
And now getting a print like that, it's not something that Fed wanted to see.
But historically speaking, isn't it generally around that sort of level? I know they want it to be at that level.
They have a target at 2%.
Yeah, I know that's the target, but...
Yeah, and the Fed speakers, like, I've been listening to them. They're saying if I mean, we can be happy with that we brought it down to this level right now from 9%.
Yeah.
But if we do that now, then we're gonna, like, it's gonna become a thing for next time, where they can just say, you know what, the Fed's saying 2%, but at 3% they can just pivot.
Yeah. Potentially.
So it's like, yeah, when you change your target,
Yep, exactly.
yeah, then you cause a lot of mayhem in the markets and economy. So that's why they're concentrating on 2%. Otherwise, a lot of people are saying like it's just a man-made number. You don't need it to be.
Well, it
at
is.
2%.
That's
Yeah.
what exactly. That's the general consensus.
Yeah. But then the counter
Because
argument is that since we've said 2%, then we want to bring it down to 2%. We're not
Yeah.
going to change on.
because the reality is everyday, living prices aren't coming down whatsoever.
Yeah.
Not
no,
at
it's
all. Not at all.
It's
So
also another thing for the bonds and all that stuff, because if you've got if bonds are paying you 5% annually, but that's your 10-year, and inflation's at 3.5, really, then it is a risk off, but you're only making 1.5%.
yeah, you're not making much to
but
warrant
there
it.
won't be much bids on their bonds,
Yeah.
and they need their bonds because that's the only thing that helps them while they print money.
So in other words, still a long way to go. Most of the Western economies are still up the shits, to be honest. Although the UK is expanding, UK is doing okay by the looks of it.
On paper,
Yeah, exactly, on paper. But you ask the general person, it's the same here.
you've got the mainstream media talking one way, and the government and politicians.
Of course, it's all exactly.
Yeah, they're all talking, and then you got the normal us.
Pumping it up. Yep.
We know exactly what they're saying is not true. I mean, when they're saying the economy is doing great, then you look at your own standards in your pocket and your life, and you're thinking it's not. Everything is expensive. I can't afford anything.
It's the same. Exactly the same here.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same here. It's all. Reality in a day is nothing's. It's just getting worse. There's nothing's changing for the better.
Yeah. It's how your living situation is.
Yeah, exactly.
They can tell you everything is bad, but if you've got, if you're living well, then you can.
We don't feel it as much.
Yeah, you argue with it. But if they're telling you everything is great and you're struggling, then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Agree 100%. Sorry, Silent. Sorry, man. All the moving averages I use have made me a lot of money after learning from technicals. Yep, took me 3 years to combine everything into my style. Hard work pays off. Backtesting over time definitely does. It definitely does. Hard work.
Yeah.
I mean, you ask some of the guys I've known for quite a while in trading, they know I've always put in the effort. And I also do that with the Discord group. I mean, I'm busy off weekend. I'm still pumping out the content, trying to I know there's experienced traders that don't necessarily need that sort of guidance, but trying to do my best just to help the others out, to give them as a little insight as to what to look for moving forward into the week. And gold is right now trying to bounce off one of those levels. So yeah, hard work, and I did a lot of back testing, a lot of overtime, as you mentioned, and I found what works for me. And simply, it's just a matter of following my rules, because my rules are steady, they're strong, they work for me. So right now, gold is still not technically a valid entry. As much as I want to trade, I know right now I need to be patient. Might have our first catalyst on gold closing bullish anyway, but to me it's nothing. It's against this downtrend, against that previous, it's not engulfing that previous bearish candle. We're still below the 4-hour resistance to the left. I still have nothing to give me the confidence to take a gold buy right now. Just need to wait. And GJ, it's at a level I'd be interested in potentially buying from, but once again, no confirmation just yet. So just Monday, it is what it is. Stream numbers yeah, no, it's always down on a Monday, so that's all good. Well done on passing another funding account as well, my friend. If I may do so, if I may ask, which prop firm did you pass your challenge on? I was so close to actually buying a funded challenge with my Forex funds, literally a few days before they went bust. So that sort of put me off the whole thing completely. I was so close.
My Forex funds was kind of like, I had 2 funded accounts with them the time it went bust.
Oh no shit, that sucks, man.
And you know, literally the first one, I got funded. And then I was like 2 days away from making my first withdrawal. Then the next morning, I just saw the notification on the Discord channel. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts big time. I also know someone who's really doing well with it and relying on it, and unfortunately it went belly up for her. So yeah, is what it is.
But for now, I'm using funding pips.
Okay. And what experience is fine with that prop firm?
Yeah, for them they're good. They are okay now. They have had their own challenges, but at least they came through it. So
Yep.
that
Okay.
at least instills some level of confidence.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you luck. Can't be worse than my Forex funds anyway, so. Siama, Kuretsu, gold. Yeah, nothing right now on gold. So as per my weekend analysis, which I sent into Discord group, it's pulled back to, well, in between these two levels. I want to see it potentially form a support above. I just don't yet have a catalyst. So what I want to see is a bit of structure form, right? Series of high lows, higher highs. Then I may consider looking for a buy to take it back up. I'll remove that for now. But right now I've got nothing. It's just been in a slow trickle to the downside. It's made a significant move, but still these candles are all over the shop. You got wicks creating higher highs, lower lows. You've got inside bar candles. There is no real flow to it, so I just need to wait for either that option to buy it or wait for it to pull back, form a resistance to potentially sell from higher up. As long as the current daily doesn't flip back bullish, then I feel there could be good options to sell it upon the pullback. So around that 23.59 I feel could be a good level. But right now there's nothing. And it's lacking a volume also right now. So, and as I mentioned, and I mentioned as well, there is so much news to come this week. So the big one is Wednesday, with obviously CPI. So until then, it may just do this sort of thing. But either way, it's Monday, man. You need to wait. Whereas stop loss, there is no trade. I'm not in a trade, so there is no stop loss. All right, GJ. Let's see. What options are you gonna give us? So we won't have the 15-minute golfing. It's the first 15-minute candle anyway. So, all right. So now what I need to see if I am to get a trade on GJ. But it is pulling up to this level just now. So what I want to see, ideally, all right, I'll go over it quickly. First 15-minute candle, this current candle close pretty much like so. Back above that previous support, popping back above the resistance here to the left. Only to be followed by the second 15-minute candle of the current M30 to close back a weak bearish candle. We're still above that previous support, and within the 30 minutes, so the 30 minutes going to close looking like so. Still going to close above that support, which is also previous resistance to the left. And then on the following M30, after we create a bit of lower wick, rejecting that support, that resistance again, you're going to pop above the bearish candles high, so the high of the 30 minute. That could be my entry to take it back up to the high. There's a few confluences there. So first of all, you got the closure on the M30 above that previous support. Within that M30 candle, you got a minor resistance forming on the 15 minute. If you are to continue bearish, then what you should do is respect the high of that 15 minute and begin to break it slow, head back down, potentially coming back down to retest 195.10 again, 195.06. However, if you do begin to break above that minor resistance form within the Xauusd M30 after creating a low wick into some cleaner traffic to the left, then it's likely to create a move back up towards 195.32, 34 sort of level. So that is pretty much what I'd be waiting for right now. That's pretty much the only potential move I can see. But obviously that requires waiting for the 30 minutes to close. We still have plenty of time for that. I want the 30 minutes to close above that level. Guys, please also, if there's anyone who hasn't subscribed yet in the chat, please do so. It really helps the stream grow, helps this channel grow. So for free, you learn a lot on this stream. So yeah, again, the analytics show there's about 25% roughly who do watch who aren't yet subscribed. So yeah, if you could, that'd be much appreciated. I know why there's not many on the stream. Number one scamming man is live. Let's do just call a trade off any candle. So prints bearish, sell it, prints bullish, buy it. And people fall for it every single time. You know exactly what I'm talking about, Franco. He's a good salesman though, nonetheless, so good on him. He could be a top bloke for all I know. I never spoke to him too. He's probably in Gbpjpy right now for whatever reason. Just because he felt like it when he saw the candle print, and it'll magically show up as a win on his MetaTrader, of course. GU looks identical to GJ. Looks very similar right now. I would say GU probably want it to, that support lines up with this resistance, so you probably want to close above that support just there. I would be looking for a similar catalyst. Let's just say if this was the closure of the 30-minute, this 15-minute, all I'd be waiting for is a bullish engulfing. Very simple rule. And if that was to be the case, I'd be buying it on the following candle to break the high of the catalyst candle. Or I'd be looking for a buy limit if it closes quite significantly above the high, engulfing the bearish candle. The story of GJ, all London session, the catalyst candles make the move. So bearish engulfing, tapped into the support. This bullish candle is almost pulled back up to the resistance, so it's really not leaving many options to actually trade it, seeing it is a very narrow range as we mentioned earlier. But that's all well and good, we just patiently wait. But I feel now that seeing us tap back into this support, if it does begin to pop above again, then it could well make the move, popping above the current daily, which has just broken that previous weekly high. So we've pulled back down to the support. We're expected to create an equal low, we could almost argue a higher low, and I feel we approach it again, it is likely that it will continue to the upside. However, I would still rather wait for a closure above, especially if it's coming from the middle of the range, and definitely would not be considerate on this candle if it begins to break. Not a chance. But we'll see. Wait for the 30-minute closure and we'll see where we're at. Oh, EJ. EJ looks good. Broken high previous weekly candle. Daily higher high, higher low. Big gap to the downside. Wow, popping above the consolidation. Things on 4 hour for the confirmation. You need to wait still another hour and a quarter almost for this candle's close to confirm it's going to close out on this consolidation. But with daily candle probabilities, short bias is bullish. Strong previous weekly candle. And weekly candle probabilities, I'd be looking for the bias on each. I'd probably just be waiting now for closure above that level there.
Yeah, that's what I'm currently waiting for.
Yep, that was
waiting
good.
For that one to close.
Yep, nice one. So what I'd be doing right now
because,
is you go on. Yep.
If the other candle, the previous, it tried to break that level before and it rejected.
Failed. Correct.
So I just need to wait for it to close. No need to jump into it.
Agreed.
So yeah, just waiting for that to close. If it will go, then it goes.
That's it, man. If it goes, then you know you just need to wait for it to pull back eventually, and You got to piece this later on, but clean traffic. Yeah, you just need to wait. See, what I'd be looking for now is the 5 minutes. See if within the 30-minute candle, which you want it to close above, if you actually have a pullback to tap in. But the way at the current rate, it looks like it may not give you that, but still it's going to be a strong catalyst candle, so you would still get your option, I suppose, on the following candle. GJ is still below resistance. Yeah, but EJ looks the best.
Let's see what happens. Maybe it gives an opportunity in this 15 minutes, the next 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, potentially. It could well do so. And if not, at least you know you're trading bullish. So once again, it's just a matter of waiting for it to set up yet again. So it looks like there could be strength in the euro as well. Yeah. Alright, so we got 15-minute closing above. It's closed way too far above. It's just making a move within this 30-minute candle. PJ is also tapping into the 168 flat level. So it could reject, pull back to this resistance, but as long as it remains above it, I'd still fancy the buys for sure. So in my opinion, what would be great is you have one candle closing back bearish on a 5-minute after tapping into this resistance, or even at least one candle closing back bearish followed by maybe a bullish candle tapping into it, only to reject and close back above, closing M30 above. So then we've retested this zone. You can argue we closed above here, pop back below, and now closing back above that most recent resistance on a 5-minute. But still on the 30, we've not yet closed above. I'd still rather wait for, first of all, 30-minute closure above, and either that within this candle, that 5-minute tap in, or if not, the new candle, pull back, create solid wick, tap in, and begin to bounce away from that level, potentially entering as it flips bullish maybe, or as it breaks the high. The safer entries as it breaks the high, low. Just depends where it closes now though. Gold's tapped into the next level. As we mentioned earlier, if it starts to pop below 23.45 and close below it, and I feel there is scope for it to really pull back towards the 50% that previous weekly candle. And this area of liquidity here to the left around 23.35 sort of level. Just gonna remove that. It's all good. It's just Monday, as I mentioned, guys. There's no need to force anything. EJ looks like it may now tap in. Ooh, not quite. Pretty boring stream, guys. Not really a chance aren't offering all that much, but it's all good. Parlay for less impatience today. So far it is definitely. So the moves might come close to 10 way. Potentially. Once again, I still like what GJ is doing right now. If we are to continue for potential buys above the previous, well, current weekly count is high now, so we've broken it previous, but once again back above that resistance either way. But right now it's just not ready. And gold is just being gold. It's not really doing anything. Ugh. Not sure if you guys saw the YouTube short videos that I've been I had released over the past 4 or 5 days. There'll be another series of videos that will be released later this week, so keep an eye out for that. That is a breakdown of one of the trades we took on stream a couple of weeks back, I think it was, on GJ. Let's wait and see as candle closes and we can decide what to do moving forward. EJ still not tapped in just yet. So once again, what I really like to see then now and the 30-minute closure is one of either the current 5-minute candle in the next 20 odd seconds, pull back to retest this zone, or the following one, and then we bounce off it to close the 30-minute above. Then I feel it could be good options to buy EJ as it breaks above the high upon continuation. Little lower wick on the new candle as it begins to break. That could be your option. Almost tapped in. Amount of level, see if you drag this up a bit, you could argue it's already tapped in. I just like to use the bearish candles because they're the ones, the highest point of the bearish candle, because obviously bearish candles confirm resistance at the highs. Obviously bullish candles confirm support at the lows as well, so there we go. It's tapped in now either way. So now what I want to see is this candle flip, close back bullish, close back pretty strong bullish, to be honest. Considerably, God, I can't even speak. That time of day, close above that level, and then the buys upon continuation. So the human mind can only focus on one thing from no longer than about 30 hours at its maximum strength of capacity of a day, I think. I think mine's completely fried at the moment. So this is good. This is what I want to see in EJ. This is really good. Pop up higher, close higher within its own candle in 30 minutes. So it's not leaving such a big upper wick. Little lower wick at the open new candle. And look for continuation buys potentially, or as it flips. Yeah, so this will pretty much render the entry invalid if it does close like this.
That's why I had to wait for it to close, because
Yeah,
it does that a lot.
Yep. I mean, on any of these currency pairs, often you'll find it do likewise, where it breaks out of a level that was stuck below, rejected multiple times. And yes, sometimes it's going to close above, but even so, I mean, a lot of the time it's going to pull back. It will give you quite a few pips, maybe 5 pips or so on the table, pulls back to its entry, back below its entry, stuck in drawdown. It's just better to wait for the confirmation. Gives you more probabilities moving forward into your potential entry. And who knows, still could be invalid. I want it to close almost at its top third of its own from the opening candle to the highest point. Probably not much lower than current level. Yeah, once again, this isn't great. What it's doing just now, it's not great. How's the hourly? So the hourly, you've still got that previous candle. If it closed bullish and golf into that, would give me more confidence. It's not the strongest closure above. If I was to look to probably answer a buy, what I'd probably do is let it create a decent lower wick, maybe back towards the low of this zone, and then enter a buy as it flips back bullish. That's probably the only thing I do, because I think it's a little bit too late buying above the high in this scenario. It could pull back to retest the most recent resistance. On the, I mean, that's just previously come from the areas it's come from. On the 30, so back below that 167.92 sort of level. And then I'll probably just buy as it flips if it were me trading it. But again, I don't trade this pair, so I'm not going to take it myself. The hourly, yeah, it's not a bad closure. Yeah, it's not fantastic.
Yeah, but on the earlier, I would have preferred it to close above the other week.
Yeah,
previous
likewise. Likewise, that
Yeah.
would give me a lot more confidence.
If
For
it
sure.
had closed above that week, then I would be confident, be more confident to take it when it flips bullish.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That would have been a massive catalyst if the hourly closed bullish engulfing. So that's all good, man. You know yourself. No, don't need to force it. Just wait for what you really want to see happen. If it eventuates, it's all good.
But also, even at this point, I think if the next M15 was to close bullish engulfing to the bearish M15 that just closed above this,
Yeah, that would be perfect.
it will be perfect.
Yeah, and clean over to the left as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really nice if it does that. That's a really good catalyst. So, because you got the yeah, it's a 15-minute candle, but you've got the 30-minute closure above the resistance either way, so you've got that catalyst ticked off. But because that strength of that previous bearish candle, you're saying to yourself you'd rather wait for the next candle to engulf that candle, and then you'd be happy to take the buy. I think that's a really good plan. I mean, if it closes right up near the high as well, that's probably good enough. Especially if it actually breaks the high of that bearish candle, but closes just below it, and then new candle creates a lower wick and begins to break above. That could also tick the box if you have a high, low, high, high, but it looks like it could be about to break low of that previous 15-minute just now.
Well, the plans don't work every day.
No, that's
So
it.
we
Just
we
wait.
just wait for another.
That's it. You have to have a plan and just follow it, because you know if you stick with it, you're likely going to be on the right side of things. So it's just a matter of having the patience to wait for it to eventuate. Some days just not going to. That's training. All right, so GJ, I don't like that upper wick, and to be honest, the more data now printed within this area, the more mess it creates, the more difficult it will be to trade this current range, which is not even that great deal of margins, about 24 pips. So right now on GJ, I need this range to open up again, so that might require move back down, clean move up. If I'm not in buys, if we just pulls back up, it's been bouncing off support, rejecting resistance. Now I'd be looking for my catalyst to form at these highs. Rejection below the current daily candles low, or even if it pops above only to close back below that resistance, then I can consider trading this range yet again. Otherwise, the best option at this point is just to avoid this whole area and wait for price to either pop above current daily / previous weekly candles high, or potentially below the support formed right now, the most at that previous level on the way up. If we start to close below at 195.06, then we're likely going to come back down to 194.90, 920, that sort of range. But even then, don't force it. It's not, you don't have a great deal of margin, to be honest. So it's one of those days where you just need to let it create some moves, cut through all of this shit, and then you might have a clearer picture moving forward into tomorrow. So that's why I'll be looking out GJ. Just be patient with it. Gold, same analysis applies as before. it's tapped into a few of my levels just now, so need to see it form a little bit of structure at these lows, some series of higher lows, higher highs. Begins to pop back above that 2352. That could potentially be a level. I prefer it to probably clear this wick though. But once again, let it form a bit of structure from this level. Even if the new 4-hour candle opens up, and maybe if it pulls back only to respect a lot of the previous candle and starts to form some structure in the minor time frames, the 30-minute, 15-minute, that potentially could be the option to buy it. But I would not be rushing into it. It is only Monday, so let it do its thing. Otherwise, just look for it to pull back, form a lower high for potential sells. As long as the current daily remains bearish, be looking to left where it could be potentially reject. We've got this previous support, could be a level. Otherwise, the resistance back at 2360, just below that level there, as a potential level for price to reject and come back down with further buys above it if we do pop above it and close above it. So it's trying to form some support just now, so maybe the first little confirmation you might begin to have for a potential option moving forward into pre-MY. But right now I will not be chasing it, I'll just be patient with it. So that is gold. That's about a wrap, guys. I think I'm gonna call it. I'm not gonna get anything just now. Yeah, so just quickly, guys, once again, if you have not done so, make sure to join the free Discord group. The link to that is down below in the description. I will post some I will post an MY update with a video and a chart markup as well for GJ, gold, possibly GU, and definitely NAS. Moving forward, MY stream for Discord members tomorrow and Wednesday. Otherwise, I'll be on stream tomorrow from around 7:30 AM UK time on a Tuesday. Yeah, so until then, guys, if you want to know anything more about anything that I do as far as services, it's all down in the description below. If you could hit the like button on the way out, it'd be much appreciated. Gents, RR, Mr. Phil.
Take care, thanks. Thank you, man.
Okay, you too, man. I'll chat to you guys later. Cheers.
Take care, man. Bye-bye. Bye.
Okay.
Cheers, bro.
Thanks, man. Have a nice day.
You too, bro.
Take care.
Cheers. And to the rest of you guys, I shall, trade safe, and I shall see you tomorrow for a London session tomorrow. Thank you for the sub. On that note, cheers, my friends. Bye for now.